Hi, guys. This is Kayla Roth, your host with Faith, Purpose, and Freedom. Today, I have Erica Allen with me. She is the host of Golden Child Podcast and the owner of Redeeming Legacy Counseling. Welcome, Erica. We are so excited that you're here with us today.
Thank you. I'm so glad to be here.
So, can you tell us just a little bit about yourself, what you do?
Okay. Well, I am a licensed professional counselor associate. I am also EMDR trained. I focus primarily on trauma. I do any type of trauma, whether it be complex or simple. I enjoy helping people get to the root of the issues and help them understand why they do what they do. With my Golden Child podcast, it is for my black sheep, quote unquote, the black sheep. You're not a black sheep. You're someone who is different from those in your family to cause a change. And that is the purpose of that podcast. The purpose of Redeeming is for that same reason. It's for those people who feel different. You feel like I have been the person who's been outcasted forever, where you're
Yeah.
actually the person who God wants to change how your family has functioned. And that's what I do as a therapist. I want to help you find the why behind your actions to help you develop better ways to cope, but also to find your purpose and to walk out whatever God has created you to do.
I
That's me
love
in a
that.
nutshell. I truly enjoy helping people. The more trauma, the better for me. I'm just like, bring it. I enjoy it.
Bring it on. I got this. I can do it. Yes. So we were just talking a little bit, and I kind of want to discuss a few things that, we were talking about just with teenagers. And because I do youth ministry, and I have a lot of mom and dad friends who struggle with their teens. And there's a stigma around teenagers. They don't
Mhm.
want to work. All they want to do is play on their phones. And you know, video games. So
Mm.
what would you say to those parents?
First, I would say your child is a product of the environment that they are being raised in. That's a hard ouch, I know, but you need to
Eh,
look in the mirror and say, what did I do as a parent from birth until now? Your child is literally trying to find out who they are as a teenager. And you need to find out what have you put in them to say, yes, you're good at this or not good at this. Have you taught them how to have resilience? Because if they don't have it, how did they lose it? Or where did it start missing it? I always tell parents you need to look in the mirror first.
oh, yeah, I
And
agree.
and
So
it's very important for you to do that as a parent. And I'm not saying that some every parent has done that. Some parents have did everything they know how. After you look from within, what is the environment that they're in? Who has the
yeah.
biggest influence? You need to find those things out. If they're always on their phone, who gave them the phone? Because if they don't have a job, you bought it. The
Uh-huh.
accountability that comes along with parenting is big. Me personally, I would say before you say the teenagers is doing whatever, what have you done to make sure that teenager can become productive? Have you given them everything humanly possible as a parent to make good choices and have grace for your teenager? Because you have to remember you were once one. And when you were a teenager, your parents didn't understand you either.
Nope.
You cannot expect for a child who is between ages 12 to, in my opinion, 21 to actually know what they want.
Oh,
It's a
yeah.
lot
Well,
going on. There's so
I'm
many
actually
options.
glad. I often say I am glad I'm not a teenager in today's world. I
Yeah,
mean,
I can see
teenage
that.
being a teenager is tough because not only I think a lot of times you do find them on their phones and social media and so forth because
Mhm,
in some households parents are working, especially if it's a single parent household, that parent might be working 2 jobs just to make ends meet.
mhm,
The cost of living is so high that parents have to work. Both parents are working and kids can't. I was working outside the home, and that was one of the biggest problems for our family was my kids were falling apart.
mhm,
They literally were falling apart because my teenagers were babysitting.
mhm,
And my husband would be home within, like, 2 hours, but they would babysit for that couple hours. But then they were feeling lost, and I couldn't do the things I once was able to
Right.
do with them. We homeschool, so, like, we enjoy going to history centers and science centers, and we hike, and we do all the things because we enjoy it, and we weren't able to because I was working so much, and I think that's where sometimes we find kiddos just,
Yeah. But you also
uh
have to remember you have to prioritize.
uh
God does not give you more than what you can handle. That sounds cliche, but it's the truth.
no,
If he
true.
felt like you could not take care of your babies, he would not have given them to you. But
Yeah.
because he did, that means he's trusting you to do what's best for your children. At the end of the day, you go to God when it's too much. That's the purpose of prayer. You go to God and
Oh,
say, "Well,
yeah.
God, this is a lot. This is a lot for me to handle. Help me," so that He can help you. If it's financial, let's look at the finances. What can we pull back from? What can we streamline this to? Well, how can we? Are we living above our means? Let's find a financial counselor to help us with this. There are ways to do it, and it's a lot of this stuff is free. So I don't want you to
Oh,
say it's
yeah.
not free. It's a lot of free things in this world that you can take advantage of. My point is, what's more important when you're 90? I've worked in jobs where I worked with the 80 and 90-year-old population, our elders and our seniors. And oftentimes, once you get to that age, you can't go back and change anything. What can you do now that will make it so that your life and your children have a quality life later? Is it worth changing? Yes, 100%, because that means your children will get more of you.
Yep.
That's the truth. Right nowadays, we see 2-year-olds with phones in their hands. Why does a 2-year-old have a phone in their hand? It's something as simple as, can we all sit down at dinner together? Can we have one game night? A game night a week would change your kids. It's just taking
It did for
accountability,
our family.
and life is gonna life. You're an adult. Life is gonna life.
Oh,
Yes,
yeah.
the money is gonna be, it's gonna come and go. It's gonna be hard sometimes. It's gonna be good sometimes, but that should be teaching you something. You should be finding lessons in this. But your children should not be the ones that get left on the side. Because what you're
Right.
doing is you make it so that the people who own those companies, they get to spend time with their children. They get to take good care of their kids. It's not fair, but their kids are getting a quality life. Yours deserve the best possible life. It's not saying it has to look like the Joneses. It's saying that whatever you can give. Every child will be like, I don't care what we do, mom, dad, we can go for a ride. I don't care. We're talking. We're building a relationship. That's what they need. You.
Oh, absolutely. I agree, and honestly, being able to come back home has been the biggest blessing because we get up in the morning, we do the things together, and the evening time, we get to do whatever we want.
Hmm.
Sometimes we just go to the park, sometimes we just go for a walk, sometimes we go fishing.
Yeah.
If that's what we love to do,
Yeah.
but, it's the moments that you spend with them because you can't take time, like, you're never getting that time back,
Mm-mm.
but memories, those are memories they're gonna carry forever, and I
Yes.
often hear you said things are free, and I just wanna say, I often hear parents say, "I can't afford to do anything with my kids." Worms cost, like, $4,
Yeah.
go fishing.
Yeah.
It costs nothing
Yeah.
to go for a hike. I mean, a lot of beaches are free to just go swim with
Hmm.
your kids, pack a lunch, you don't have to go out to eat. Pack a
Yeah.
lunch, peanut butter and jelly sandwiches. Those kids are happy, they do not care.
Hmm.
So, I mean, I agree that it's just about spending time with them,
Yeah.
and that's what a lot of kids need.
Yeah. And
And I
being
often
transparent as a parent too, because that's another thing. I've seen kids when they're teenagers. I've literally heard parents lie to them and say, "Well, I wasn't like that." Oh, come on. No teenager is perfect. Stop it.
I
Be transparent. I went through that. I know
oh,
what
yeah.
you're going through. Be a real person to your kids.
Well, and they respect you more. I A lot of
Mhm.
people have said to me, "How do you get our kids to talk to you?" Because I don't lie to them. Like, I
Exactly.
don't try to act like I'm perfect because I am the biggest hot mess in the world. If anybody has made the mistake, it's been me. Pick
Right.
me, but it's fine. And that's I
Yeah.
mean, I can walk in a room and laugh at the mistakes I've made because
Yeah.
I learn and I grow. And none of us are perfect.
Mhm.
We mess up.
That's
I
the
was
point.
a teenager that was I was misunderstood, I was misjudged,
Mm.
and I was mouthy. If I was my mom, I woulda locked me in a closet. Like, I was so mouthy,
I know.
and I look back and I'm like, I knew everything.
Yeah.
I knew nothing for the
Yeah.
record. Nothing. I
Yeah.
just thought I did.
Yeah.
But, looking back, I wish I would have done things different, and
Mhm.
I tell my kids, like, "This is who I was, this is what I did." And when you just sit with them and you're humble enough to be like, "Yeah, I made that
Yeah.
mistake. Yes, I did this, I did that." I feel like they respect you more.
They do. And they can appreciate it so much more because you're showing them that it's completely normal what they're going through. You're normalizing their experience as a teenager, and that's what you should do as a parent. Let them know,
Yeah.
"Yeah, that was me." 'Cause I know me, I'll tell you, "Hey, I still have a smart mouth." That's not changing, and I'm okay with it.
I look at my 16-year-old daughter often, I'm like, "Oh, Lord, she is so who I used to be."
Mhm.
She is so me
Yeah.
and not in a bad way, like, she's just if you hurt one of her siblings, she's going to let you
She's the
have it, and she does
protector.
not care, and we're working on it, but, yeah, I mean and she's just like a little mama hen, cracks me up. She just hovers over 'em,
Yeah.
watches everything they do.
Yeah. Yeah.
So we discussed just like trauma and so forth.
Okay.
And so let's just discuss trauma a little bit and
Okay.
how, people can reach out for help and it's okay because I told you a lot of the comments I get in ministry is someone saying, I've been to counseling before. It doesn't help me. I actually had a guy even tell me that the counselor told them that there was no help for them.
Mhm.
Hmm.
Okay. Yeah. So when we're going through those type of things, do not allow one bad counselor to cover all. You know, unfortunately, there will be some bad seeds out there because a lot of the counselors have not did their own work. So even for the person you just told me about, for a person to say that, that tells me he wasn't equipped to take care of whatever that issue was. All counselors are not the same. We are not all created equal, and we don't all have the same training. When it comes to finding a counselor, before you say it doesn't work, treat it like you would dating. This person might have something, you might have everything in common with them, but something about them just not right. Same rules apply with your counselor. Ask them questions. Ask them, hey, what type of issues have you worked on? And I ask people, to ask counselors all the time, hey, how did you get through what you went through? What was your journey? How did you heal? And if they really can't answer that, they're not the person for you because they haven't did the work. And look if they start using all these technical terms. A counselor has really been through some stuff. They're not being technical. They're a real person. They don't sound like a robot. And unfortunately, you will meet a lot of counselors who sound more like a bunch of scripted people versus, well, this is what I went through. Listen, I've been through a divorce or I've been through, childhood trauma or whatever. They'll tell you because they're excited for somebody to finally ask them a question that actually means something to them. You'll find those genuine people. Find a counselor that works good for you. You don't have to just go to anybody. Just because your insurance says, well, go to this person, you don't have to if you don't like them. It's the same rules apply. You're trusting somebody with your life and with your life story.
Yeah.
Treat it like dating, but understand that some counselors, they really haven't did the work and that's normal. But that doesn't mean it won't work for you. Try
Right.
somebody else. You don't give up on stuff just because, well, that didn't work. Well, okay, you might lose a job. That means you're going to stop working forever? No, you're going to go try another job. Try
Right.
another counselor. Just find what works best for you. And also understand that it's not the counselor's job to heal you. It's God's job to heal you. It is your job to do the work. But having someone that is an unbiased person to walk with you on your journey, that is what a counselor is
Mhm.
supposed to do, to help you go through that journey and help you see, well, this is what this oh man, I've been doing this for a long time and kind of call you out on your stuff when you are not taking accountability or even help you realize, well, that person might not be the best choice for you.
Right.
Counselors are there for that reason, but not to help not to heal you. And that's a whole nother preach because God is the only one that can heal your heart, right?
Yeah.
and you have to do your part in counseling. So when you say it doesn't work, make sure you were doing everything possible. Make sure it was the right fit for you, and make sure you ask those questions. Ask them, and a true counselor can answer those questions honestly.
Yeah.
Then you decide if you want to go on with it, but give
Right.
it another
I
shot.
agree. So tell me just a little bit about trauma. Like, how do you start? If someone comes to you and they're just, they've been through trauma, but they haven't really recognized yet that they've been through trauma. How do you discover what the trauma is and what is holding them back? And how do you go about that?
Ooh, that's a complex question. Because nobody really comes in and just says, "Hey, I've been molested." They don't.
Yeah.
It often starts
Right.
off with a very surface level conversation. So most people come in because they're having anxiety. And it may be anxiety about work or something with the family. They come in with something very surface level. They come in with a symptom of what trauma
Right.
does to them. And as they become comfortable with me, then they unload and they open up a can of worms. But it takes sessions before I can even get to the point of saying, "Well, what happened?" For them to feel
Yeah.
comfortable. I don't want the lie to be like people just come and say, "Well, this has happened to me." Oftentimes, that is not what happens, not in normal regular therapy, unless it's
Right.
specifically for like a crisis counselor or something like that. But when they're coming into therapy, they're coming in because they can't sleep or they've been eating a lot or everybody's getting on their nerves all of a sudden. And then as you start talking, I start talking to them and we're building that rapport and they grow comfortable. Well, it could be because this happened. And I ask the question, well, when did this start? So I have people come in, I'm angry all the time. But when did this anger start? Did it start from when you were working with this person or did it start earlier?
Right.
I ask those questions. Trauma is very complex and it's different for everybody. It's very subjective. So what one may deem to be a trauma, the other person may not. But if it's something that has impacted you to change your worldview and change how you see everything around you, it's a trauma.
Yeah.
And normalizing that to know that it is because it doesn't look the same. A trauma is not always abuse. A trauma could be something as simple as I saw somebody get shot in front of me, or I lost a loved one, or I just lost my job and I really don't know what to do with that. So it's different,
Yeah.
but just getting them to just open up and be comfortable. But
Right.
that's again, it falls on that person when they're comfortable, and that's how you find out.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So EMDR, we talked about that a little bit, and I
Yeah.
just kind of want to delve into it and learn a little more exactly how you do
How it
EMDR
works.
and how you work with
Okay.
people.
So first of all, EMDR is it mimics sleep. So when you sleep, your brain technically should go into the realms to allow your brain to reset. Your brain is normally stuck if you went through any kind of trauma and it's unhealed. Your brain is in fight, flight, or freeze.
Right.
You could be in any one of those stages. It's not necessarily flight or freeze or whichever one. You could be in either one of them. And so what EMDR does is it mimics eye movements that your brain would do if you were sleeping. And so it allows the way I describe it is it's like a clogged drain in your brain that needs to be unplugged. That's the best way I
Okay.
explain it because to me it just sounds simpler.
Yeah.
So picture the trauma. This is your brain, and there's you have your parts, and it's something plugged right here, and that's keeping you in one of those three phases, right? When you do EMDR, it's not a talk therapy at all. You are telling the person, the therapist, about whatever it is you want to work through. So whatever that trauma is, that's when you're naming that trauma,
Okay.
and you're telling the therapist, well, what symptoms you've been experiencing as a result of that trauma. And then we go through several sessions of eye movements to get you to the point where your body is no longer reacting to that trauma. That's the best way I
That's
can put
awesome.
it. And it's really
That is
cool.
awesome.
It works on various levels. It's certain it is certain, levels that we cannot do MDR on, but
Okay.
that's more of a psychiatric side with those levels. But, I've worked with all types of people who majority of them is odd because a majority of my clients have been with some type of sexual assault,
Okay.
and it came up later in life. I had no clue that they were going through it, and then, again, those sessions revealed. And they were in a place of, hypervigilance and, um, mistrusting, etcetera. It was affecting their marriage and all kinds of things. And through EMDR, they realized, "Oh, wait, I'm safe again. I can actually do this." And it's because your brain is processed all the way through because we're focusing on that trauma, not everything going on that one
Yeah.
trauma. And then if other things come up, we start focusing on that, but we do the main one and then break it down from there. It's really,
See,
really
that's
cool.
awesome.
Yeah.
That is just, like, really cool. I wish I would have heard of it when I was struggling because I'm telling you, like, that would have helped heal a lot.
Mhm,
That is awesome.
mhm,
I just I know that I've talked to a couple people who have used EMDR
mhm.
and working through it, like, the one, she said she was just able to have conversations that she wasn't actually able to have,
Mhm.
but then you can turn it around and you feel better, you heal because you actually got to say what you wish you woulda said, but
Yeah,
in a safe spot,
yeah. It's a
and I
lot
just
to it.
think that that is awesome.
There's so many things that, that it does for people. It also helps you understand where you're carrying your trauma in your body because now you're focused on where you feeling the stress, where you feeling the tension. And
Explain that, like, where
so
do we carry
we
in our
carry
body?
we can. I've had people carry it in their chest, their lower back, shoulders. So when we're talking about a memory of what happened to us, I will stop you and say, "Well, where are you feeling it at?" And the people will never know that, "Oh, wait, I feel, oh, why is my stomach tight right now?" Right. That's where you're carrying it at. Or, man, I feel it. I had one person, he was telling me, "Yeah, it's I feel it in my lower back, and another one, I'm
Stop!
feeling
I
it like
never thought
right
of that.
here." Huh?
That is so cool because I
Yeah.
never really thought of
Yeah.
that.
Your body remembers what you may not necessarily remember. So subconsciously, you might not remember any of this stuff, but your body still does. And it's holding on to it somewhere. So with EMDR, you're able to kind of say, well, it works the same as like somatic therapy. Somatic therapy focuses solely on body movements and where you can release those tensions and the stress. Well, same was apply with EMDR. You're finding out where you're feeling tense at to reduce that. And so
Right.
as you're processing through, what do you feel that there? Well, no, it's gone. Wait.
Well, I
Well, how do
mean,
you
in our
see life now, or how's it
subconscious.
affecting you now? And you'll as you go, you realize it's safe again. It's the coolest thing to watch
Yeah.
and go through.
Well, our subconscious kind of just holds all those
Mhm.
memories, but it also protects us, right?
Yeah. Yeah, so your body is protecting you from something, yes, but it's still stuck in the 3 Fs in some way, shape, form, or fashion. You just don't realize it. So, like, you can use somebody who I overeat, right? So if you're overeating, what is the reason behind it? Your body is giving off that symptom for a reason. It's not because I'm hungry and I just want to eat food and I'm greedy. That's not always the truth. Like we look at my 600-pound life, a lot of those women and those men have been through something and it's causing them to do it. Everything, an addiction is causing them to do that,
Yeah.
right? But what happened to you to cause
Yeah,
that to
what
happen?
caused
So
you to
your
do it?
body is reacting to that. Yeah. Yeah.
That is so good. And I often think to myself, just looking back, I can remember walking into situations that would make me snap. And until I learned about your subconscious,
Mhm.
I actually read a book. It's called Switch on Your Brain by
Yeah.
Caroline Leaf.
Mhm.
That book changed my life. And I mean, I was just really able to understand plasticity and Romans 12:2. We are able to renew our mind.
Right.
And I mean, our brain can be completely what do you call it? Refocused,
You can rewire your brain.
rewired. Yes,
Yeah.
that's the word I was looking for. Sorry. We can rewire our entire brain, and neuroplasticity, like learning how neuroplasticity works was just, I was like, oh, and
Mhm.
so, just learning that your subconscious, it holds all these memories.
Yeah.
So when you walk into a situation that it might be similar to a trauma you experienced, that's why you're reacting the way you
Mhm.
are. You're reactive because you are now trying to protect yourself.
Yeah.
Your
And you can
subconscious
it
kind of
can not
protected
just
those.
necessarily be a situation. It could be a smell. It
Yeah.
could be a sound. It could be anything, that triggers something for you, good or bad. You know, when
So,
you walk
yeah,
around, there's certain smells that, like, I know for me, the smell of tar reminds me of, elementary school. They were fixing on the roof, and that was, like, a fun time for me because I think it was, like, field day, and it just brings me back there. So, it's certain smells that will trigger certain things in
sulfur,
you.
it's
Yeah.
like smelling sulfur for me because my great grandma had a natural spring and you could always smell the sulfur. And so I can just, anytime I'm somewhere and I smell it, it's just like, grandma.
Yeah.
And it's
Yeah.
the weirdest thing.
Yeah.
But it's also kind of one of those things where I'm just like, God's reminding me that she's still watching over me.
Mhm.
And so, yeah, I mean, it's cool to me, our senses. I mean, you can see something and it's just like a trigger
Right.
too. And you're right. It can be good or it could be bad.
Mhm.
But so I just being vulnerably honest, as a parent, I watched my daughter, well, I did not watch my daughter go through it. She told us about 6 months after it had happened,
Mhm.
and she is very open about it,
Mhm.
but she went through a sexual assault with one of my son's good friends at the time.
Mhm.
And so as a parent, I struggled, and I was mad, and I'm angry, and I'm upset, and I let this young man in my home and all the things,
Mhm.
and she struggled and she did the right thing, and she went to counseling and so forth, and she's doing really well with it. And now she's just like, I will make sure everyone that comes in my path always knows that they can speak up about it.
Right.
They don't have to not.
Right.
So what would you like, how would you help anyone who has been through sexual assault just know that it's okay to speak up? Because I know that a lot of times people just stay silent and they suffer in it.
Yeah. I know a lot of people who do too, and it's that's a sensitive subject for a lot, but I always try to help them understand that there's power behind their voice. Telling what happened will help so many other people get the courage to do the same, and it
Yeah.
also hold the perpetrator accountable. Big on that one. Hold them
Even if
accountable
there's
and
not legal justice, like, I
yeah,
always want
I
people to realize there's
listen.
not always.
Guys will be done. At the end of the day, I feel like when it comes to a victim, survivors, because they're not victims, the survivor's voice. When it comes to their voice, it's very powerful. And now, and I also point out to them, don't allow that person to have that type of power over you. They already took something from you that they should not have had in the first place. But to stay silent gives them even more power, not only over you, but to hurt other people. Take the power away from them. And I just
Yeah.
encourage every survivor in any situation, sexually assault, domestic violence, anything.
Yeah.
Use your voice. Use what you need to. That's your most powerful part of you is your voice. To say, no, this happened to me. This person did it to me. And this needs to be taken care of. And just don't be afraid. Surround yourself with people who gonna support you in that because sometimes
Yep.
I know a lot of people stay quiet because they don't have a support system. And that's the scary part, especially for kids.
Yep.
They don't have a support system. And if you can find a counselor at school, someone to help you and understand that nothing bad will happen to you. Something bad will happen to them. And I think we need to educate more on that, that it's not about if something bad will happen to you. It may feel bad for a short period of time, but I promise you it'll be worth it. Your voice is powerful. And that's what I
That's,
tell all of the survivors. Your voice is very powerful. Use it.
I often, with I mean, our daughter, which actually you know, she has spoken about it, and she actually made a TikTok not too long ago that just, like, shattered my heart, but it was the truth. And I'll never silence her. I'll never make her feel like she can't talk about it because
Mhm,
if she feels comfortable talking about it, she
mhm,
can.
mhm,
And, one of the hardest parts for her was, like, he just gets away with it. And, I had to come to the senses, and I was like, "He didn't though. He did have to go talk to the sheriffs. Sure, he didn't always tell the truth, and they don't, obviously, and I had to bring it to her like this. I was just like, "Honey, do you think that somebody who has committed a crime just 9 times out of 10, they don't walk in and they just be like, oh, I did this, this, and this because of this, this, and that.
mhm,
Like, that's not how it works.
mhm,
They are going to try to hide it. And
mhm.
the moment that in that moment, you watched things come in, he got an attorney real quick, blah, blah, blah. I was like, honey, that's enough to prove his guilt. And she still deals with, things being said to her from the family and so forth.
Mhm,
And she's very open to talking about it, and it's really cool how not cool, but I'm so proud of her strength where
mhm.
she now has a friend who opened up, and she is able to support that friend
Yeah.
because she was strong enough and courageous enough
Mhm.
to speak up, and now she gets to hold victory. But one of the things that she told me is, you know, she'll get in the shower and still scrub herself
Yeah.
clean.
Yeah.
And I was just like, it shatters your heart. And FYI, she's completely okay with me talking about it because trust me, she talks openly about it.
Yeah.
And she would want nothing more than to help other people. And so I just want anyone who to know whether it's been domestic violence, abuse, sexual assault, any type of abuse that you've been through, like
Mhm.
you have a voice, you can speak up. And definitely always feel safe to email me. I will sit with anyone, pray with anyone, lead you to the right people that can help you.
Yeah.
And I'm sure Erica will too,
I sure will.
because we definitely, I don't want anyone to feel like they have to be silenced. And that's one of the most heart wrenching things I've witnessed.
Mhm.
I see it even with our youth, a lot of them are afraid to speak up. Even about just it may not even be something huge, but they fear what might happen to
Yeah.
my parent if I speak up about not having food in the home or this
Yeah.
or that. It doesn't always mean someone's gonna be in trouble. Sometimes there's just resources people don't know that are available.
Right. Right. Right.
And, we just wanna help people, lead them to the proper
Mm.
resources. So, definitely, I think that's huge for people to know.
Yes.
Alright, so, Erica, just a couple other questions for you because you are amazing with I'm sure your clients are super happy. So my question just when you see someone get to that point where they're healing
Mhm.
and you start to see them overcoming,
Mhm.
how do you keep them successful afterwards? So they've gotten to a point where you're seeing that healing and you're seeing them overcome. How do you keep them, what is your recommendation? Do you tell them like to make sure they're journaling, prayer? How do you continue that progress?
Continue to do whatever it is that got them there. If it's prayer, that's something like I literally have clients now. What time are you setting with God? I hold them accountable. Continue to
Right.
do the things that have gotten you there, following up with them. Normally, if it's at the point where we're at our last session as termination, I leave them with resources. So, to continue your journey, I recommend books. If you've already journaling, because that's something we've already established that you're going to do anyways, continue on that path. And I leave a door open. You can always reach out to me if you're reaching and you get to a point where it feels like a hindrance or a block. I allow my clients to text me, "Hey, this is going on. just so I can remind them, this use this skill, use that skill, whatever it is that you've gotten. I allow that because I know that therapy is only meant to be temporary. I personally do not want to be in therapy with somebody for 3 years. I just don't, because that means I'm not
Yeah.
doing my job. And my job is to help you get the skills to sustain life forever. Right. But
Right.
life is going life. So when life lives, you can always reach out to me. That's how I am as a therapist. I feel like life continues even when they're no longer coming. And sometimes things are gonna come. It's gonna be a hiccup. Okay, send me a text. I'll text you back. Think about
Well, and
this.
that's the thing,
And
things
then
are going to happen,
yeah,
death
and but
happens. Things
that's what I
happen
do.
in life that can pull you back, and
Yeah.
just
You can
having that
always,
resource is
always
amazing.
know that once you my client, you can always be able to reach out to me because I understand that. And I
Yeah.
might not get back with you same day, but I'll definitely get back with you within 24
Right.
hours. And if it's something an emergency, everybody know if it's an emergency, you call 911. Do not call me because that is a medical
Right.
emergency and I am not them. However, when it comes to everything else, no, my clients know that they can reach back out to me anytime because that's how I see life. It is what it is.
Yeah.
Stuff gonna come up. And we might not have covered everything. So okay. Do you feel
Right.
like you need another session? If not, then here, try this. Here's this
Yeah.
resource. Carry on. And I just think that that's important because I don't see people as a number. I see them as an assignment. And everyone who God sends to redeeming is an assignment. It's not just, oh, you client number 5. No, you're an assignment. I don't do
Right.
plethoras of people. It's not my thing. I can only do what I can handle. And what I can handle is who God sends. And whoever he sends, you are somebody who is supposed to be with me for whatever the duration that God needs you to be with me. Okay. Just keep following up and keep encouraging them because that's what I do.
Right. So
Yeah.
what led you into counseling?
Good question. I never thought in a million years I would be a counselor. I in high school, this is for your teenagers, you don't have to have it figured out. Because when I was in high school, I was going to be a movie director. I went and got an associate's degree in communications, worked in some of the industry, everything. And I was like, oh, this is great. And then one day I had a conversation at some job that I had with a lady about some kid who was being abused. And I was like, ugh, I don't like that. And, yeah, and I was like, "Oh, I think I can go into casework or something." Mhm. And I went and got a bachelor's in psychology. But what I noticed was I didn't like how church handled psychological issues. I honestly don't like how they handle it. They act as if it doesn't happen. And I was like, "Okay, well, maybe I should be a Christian counselor." Okay. I hate school, and I hated school. I still do. Not gonna lie to you. See, kids, every adult who tells you they love school, some of them are lying. Some
They're
of us do it
lying.
because we have
Nope.
to.
I
And
like to
so
learn what I like to learn, and
right.
that's about it.
And so I went and got my bachelor's in psychology with a minor in Christian counseling. I said, "Ugh, what am I gonna do with that?" I do case management. Case manager was like, "Okay, well, it's okay." But I noticed people kept coming to me for advice. And I was like, huh, I could be a life coach. And so I was like, no, you don't be a life coach. Be a therapist. And I was like, I'll look into it. And so I got my master's in marriage and family therapy. But again, this is a 20 plus year span. My point is God had to lead me down this road. I would have
Yeah.
never picked counseling. I never even thought about it until something triggered the fact that A, I have a lot of wisdom that God has given me. B, I'm really good at helping people with their problems. And C, people really just come and tell me their business for free. So I might as well charge for it. That is literally how this happened. And God will take you through all kinds of things. He took me through things to allow me to see, no, this is why I did this. I'm in my call now. This is not a job for me. This is work. And this is what God has given me to work through. And I'm working to help people. That's how I got here. It's a long, long road. My point is you don't have to
Serving
get it.
people
You
is
don't have
the
to get it the first
best.
time. Get it when you get it. Let life teach
Right.
you what you're supposed to do. I graduated with my master's at 41. You know, it,
Hey,
it doesn't have to happen in a certain order. Just know that the
right.
journey will get you where you need to get. I fell into counseling, y'all. I did not pick this from a child. No. And it definitely was not me the one to rescue people. Uh-uh. It was just,
Well,
okay,
God led you there.
he had to,
God
that's the
just
only way.
had the path for you.
Yes, because up
Ye
to me, no. I would be somewhere saying action, cut, no, and I still love doing that stuff, so no. I really, really know that this is a God call, it's not me,
We need to
and
get you one of those little things so that way when you get on your or your podcast, you can just be like, "Cut!"
that's a good idea. That is a good
We just
idea.
gotta get
Like,
you one now.
I need to have them in
No.
sessions. Alright, that's enough. Cut.
Ah.
See you next week.
I mean, but honestly, it's awesome though, just how God could lead us, like, down these
Mhm.
paths. I never thought that I would be brave enough to put my face on a podcast.
Yeah.
Actually, when I first started, I would only do audio because I was like, nobody's seeing my face. And then I suddenly just didn't care. And then
Yeah.
I, so when
Mm.
I started this podcast in March, I, I was in the shower and I heard the word podcast. And I'm just sitting there
Mm.
like, what are you talking about now? Well, I had fallen down the steps at work.
Mm.
I worked with people with disabilities, and the step was broken, and I went sliding right on down and hurt my back. I'm still recovering from just the injury because it messed my discs all up.
Ah.
Um, so I'm doing much better. However, it kinda just took me off work. However, in the past couple years, I've done some coaching and I've helped people publish books and I've helped edit them. And then I've always just been that person that's just guided people, like, and helped people find, like, what they were good at. It just comes to me.
Mhm.
And then I've helped other people start podcasts, and I've helped them start blogs, and I've helped people build websites, and suddenly it was just like, "W why are you doing this?
Yeah.
Why aren't you doing" And I started my own website, I revamped a website, my website, I should say, and revamped my coaching and started creating a better course that leads you right down. And then I started my podcast and I just have prayed on it. And God has just led me so many amazing people, put me at tables I never imagined myself
Yeah.
being at. And I'm humble enough to say that. I'm just starting and have no idea where I'm going, but I know God does. And
Exactly.
I trust him. And I'm just on the run with him, like, hey,
Mhm.
let's do this.
Just
And
enjoy the journey. That's what
well,
you do.
right, and, I think when you get to that point where you're genuinely just at peace with
Mhm.
it, you're no longer working,
Mhm.
like, I was like, "If I can replace the income I'm making at work, I'd be happy."
Mhm.
And then God just provides, and it's like, "What is happening?" I don't even know how these things are happening, I just know
Yeah.
they are.
Yeah. He
And so
takes
I
care of his
just
people.
encourage everyone, listen, like, listen to what he tells you, you
Mhm.
know, we spend so many years in our life going to a job.
Yeah.
You know, I I know a lot of people that have said that they worked a job that was miserable and then finally retired, but I also
Mhm.
know a lot of people that are like, "I've worked never-ending jobs and I'm never gonna get to actually retire."
Yeah. That's
And
unfortunate.
it hurts my heart, and I just don't wanna see that for the future. I want to help everyone because we all have gifts and talents, every one
Mhm.
of us. Um, and whenever we put those gifts and talents to work, that's how the world really just goes
That is
round.
true.
God created us all differently for a reason.
That's true. That's true. Yeah.
So, my last question for you is it is Mental Health Awareness Month in May.
Mhm.
What encouragement would you have?
Final words to y'all. Take care of yourself. If you don't take care of yourself mentally, you will not be any good to anybody else. You have to put you first and be selfish with your mental health. It's okay
Oh, I like that.
because it's only one you. You only get one go around this beautiful journey and make the best of it. The longer you stay trapped, the harder it will be for you as you get older. So just keep doing what you need to do for you. That is the only time I will sit here and say, be selfish. Be selfish with who you are and protect your peace. And if you don't have peace, Go find it. Go to counseling, go to group counseling. It doesn't matter. Go find a way to get to your peace and stop allowing your past to win over you. You can't rewrite
Yeah,
history, but you can change how you live today and plan
absolutely.
for the future. So, and mental health awareness, be aware of your mental state and be
Yes,
okay with changing it.
absolutely. Hey, thank you so much, Erica. Thank you for being
You're
with us today.
welcome.
I will definitely share Erica's information in the comments and in the description so that you can connect with her. Anyone that's needing any type of coaching or guidance, please reach out to her. She is amazing and going to guide a lot of people. You are going to move mountains and continue helping
Amen.
people. You are transforming lives and a blessing. Thank you all so much. We love you and have a blessed day.